Hello, everyone, and welcome to the 54th episode of Kouryer Podcast. Today, I'm joined with Adrián Prado. He's a concept artist from Madrid, Spain. Now, with that out of the way, could you give us a little introduction on how you got into visual arts and design?
Yeah, I'm. In fact, I'm a start as everyone when I was a little kid, and the thing is that I never stop, to draw or paint. But for a professional perspective, I start around the 20 years old around. I'm start studying arts in the school. I quit fine arts because I don't like the approach of arts in high school. And yeah, I am start to do little works for small companies, local business, and things like that. And yeah, it was around 18 and 21 years old when these 3 4 years when I start working in this industry and taking this really serious and practice every day and things like that.
All right, and were you originally studying art and design, or you were pursuing another career path?
Well, I thought that I will need to study art to pursue this kind of career, and I'm referring all the time to official studies. Okay. But as I said, I didn't like the perspective of the art in high school, and and all of my studies was with courses, tutorials, a lot of self-taught. I don't like this term because I I think that it's not fair to say that I'm self-taught. No, I'm study a lot of masters of painter, illustration, and things like that. But uh, but yeah, I lose a little bit of track of the question. Sorry.
No, it's fine. It's fine.
Mm.
You can continue.
No, as I said, I don't like the official studies, the
Mm,
official way to study arts in at least in Spain and the school that I was. Uh, so I try to do it in an alternative way, and I have the lucky to have a father artist. My father is a comic artist, and a lot of family friends that are from the art world too. So I have the possibility to study in alternative ways. So for me, it's really important. The training in an art field is really important. At the same time, I think that it's not so important an official degree in this field of concept art, paint, sculpture, whatever. Training is really important. Official training is not so important because I never see a company hired anyone for his degree. All the companies hire anyone for his portfolio.
Thank you so much for bringing that up because that's such an important point. The beauty
Mm.
of like the creative fields is that traditional education is not a requirement at all, and
Mm.
basically it boils down to what you can do, and that's basically represented by your portfolio. So
Yeah.
if like the beauty, I say it's beautiful because imagine if someone has no family, has grew up all by himself, has to scrape by just making a small bit of money, just just to live by. They have the opportunity to get to those professional
Yeah.
levels. Like it's not like,
Yeah.
yes sir.
Sorry for cut you. The only thing that I want to bring with the thing that you have said is, and completely agree, but the only thing is, uh, the official studies, I think that are completely overrated in our field. I think that the art education lacks a lot in almost any country. For me, it's incredible that today in our society, the art universities still not recognize, for example, concept art as a form of art, or even comic. Like, no, comic is things for kids, and it's like, what are you talking about? Some of the best designers and drawers of our generation are comic artists. So what? But at the same time, uh, you need a lot of practice. You need a lot of training. You need a lot of humility to understand your level, your mistakes, your your strong points, and work to make them stronger, or whatever. So the thing is that I can't understand that some people don't have the opportunity to to training to train all the time required to be competitive in this industry. So I think that everyone needs a little bit of support and luck to pursue an artistic career. And sometimes it's difficult because I found I have a couple of stories in my back of students that I taught, uh, that they have the talent, they have the work ethic, but at the same time they don't have the setting in her life to develop these skills. Because their fathers are really sick and they must to care her father or her mother, work like 10 hours in a bad work for bring money to home. So yeah, I can't understand that there is there are situations that are not really okay, no, to develop an artistic career. But yeah, uh, if you work enough and you care enough, you have the possibility almost every time. Yeah,
Yeah, exactly, and it doesn't matter which part of the world. Like, I mean, okay, I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. Of course, it matters exactly like which part of the world you're born. Like if you're
yeah,
born in like unprivileged, like less privileged parts of the world, of course, it's gonna be more challenging. But I mean, let's not get philosophical. Like, just get to the next question.
yeah.
Um, all right.
Only for that, the only thing is that even it's true that even if you are from a very I don't know the exact word in English, but let's say less privileged part of the world, um, if you can achieve a small internet connection, you have already the possibility to show the world your work. And there is today African artists, or people from India, but from poor parts of the country and things like that, that right now are uh, well, people with an artistic career because they they at least have the opportunity to show the world his work, no, and the world said, "Wow, this is really good." Not only the white people can draw.
Yeah, exactly, and Right, next question. What is your main branch of design that you're focusing on? And tell us about your experience from the start of it until now. I mean, of course, in the introduction, I already mentioned that you're a concept artist, but I want you to explain a bit in more depth.
Yeah, I'm more focused in RPGs and board games. Was my my main my main focus in this industry in the last 5 6 years. I work in the past in cinema and a little bit in video games, and the experience of working video games and cinema was not so good, and that's because I have really problems with authority and these business fields are plagued with bosses with gigantic ego. Uh, the times in these industries, the deadlines and things like that are completely absurd. And most of the time, uh, you are working for people that doesn't care about the thing that you are doing right now in this moment of our society. um, the bosses in the movies, music, or even video games industries are people that doesn't care about movies, music, or video games. They only care about the numbers, no? So you can have really good artistic directors or really good project managers, or this kind of middle boss person that really cares about your work and all of this stuff. But the upper echelon of the industry are people that I don't like. And board games and RPGs are small enough, are big enough to pay well, but small enough to have all of the levels covers by people that care about the product and the industry and the artistic value that you are doing. So yeah, I work basically 80% of the time for RPGs or board games, and a little bit for private commissions and doing my own stuff and things like that.
Awesome. And how does your design process usually go anytime you want to start working on a project?
Well, the most of the time is I try to understand the project. I try to talking with the client or with the team um, about the ideas, or it's it's a little bit different if I'm in the project since the beginning, or I start to work in the project when this started already. So if I'm in the first step of the project, I always try to talk with the client and try to understand, I don't know, the story, the universe, or whatever. uh, if the project was already started, it's easier because you have already material of reference, no? And then my specialization are characters and creatures. It's 99 of my percent of my work are or characters and the weapons, armor, and things like that, or creatures. And I always try to study the briefing, understanding understanding the character of the character, his motivations, or whatever. If it's a creature, what is the ambience where this creature live? If it's a predator or not, trying to understand what I'm doing, what I'm designing. And then the process is very simple. I start sketching. I show a lot of sketches to the client, trying to find the direction, and then is a process of rendering. But the first step that is the most interesting for me, it's, as I said, trying to understand uh, w- what is what is what I'm drawing, what I am designing. It's a robot. If it's a robot, what is his main function? It's for example, it's a battle mecha. Okay, but it's a battle mecha that it's used in the desert, in the space. It's for close combat, urban close combat. And for example, if it's okay, it's a robot, it's a combat robot that the military uses in urban space. So at this moment, I'm start to ah sorry for my English. uh, to search documentation about, for example, close combat units of the different police of the world, to see, okay, this kind of shield, this kind of colors, this kind of armors, you know and trying to mix in reality that brings, um, that makes the design that you are doing more believable, and at the same time putting your level of fantasy or creativity to make the design as most original as possible.
All right, that sounds great. And all right, in this section of the podcast, I want to talk about some of your works and like general stuff. Which
Yeah.
is kind of like
Mhm.
which is kind of like a nice break. Every episode I do this for both me and the artist as well.
Yeah.
First things first, I noticed something really interesting in your Instagram bio. It says that, like, I mean, of course, like most of us in this industry, that you like coffee and drawing, two of the main subjects
Yeah.
uh,
Yeah.
of your Instagram bio. And actually, it reminded me that I've been recently trying to like cut out coffee as much as possible and stuff like that. And I actually noticed like during the podcast, you were drinking like a white Monster Energy.
Yeah, I have one there. Yeah.
Do you have a good experience with coffee or any funny
It's it's
stories?
part it's part about the thing that I told you earlier, that in this industry, almost every work that I made, almost in every project that I work, there is a crash time. In
Mhm.
video games is completely nuts, but even in board games and RPGs and things like that, we have all the time crashes and things like that. And as most part of us are freelance, we are freelance workers, because even if you work in a long term project, you know that when this project is over, mm, you will be employed. Uh, so the pressure is so high all the time that it's really normal to work a lot of hours a day, really late at night, and things like that. And this is the reason, I think, why 99% of the artists, we are addicted to coffee. Because coffee, caffeine, or whatever, mm, it's normal. It's You are in the middle of a crash, trying to accomplish all the deadlines and stupid expectations that an executive have, that you need to drag yourself to meet these expectations. So yeah, you found that you have, I don't know, 28, 30 years of age, and you have uh, a really big addiction to caffeine. So yeah, it's pretty normal. Yeah.
All right, and what do you think about the new recent trend that's been going on lately about NFTs? And are you planning to drop an NFT soon?
I don't have opinion in this moment, and I'm thinking about that, because the first time that I heard about the NFTs, I thought, cool, it's the way that we as society found to bring the concept of an original to the digital art. Because, wow, for example, as I said, my father is a comic book artist and a painter, and he only work in traditional media. He paint with acrylics, with oils, draw with pencils, inks, and things like that. My father works the exact same hours that I work, but when he finish the work, he have an original that it's like an additional value to his work. He have an item, an exclusive item that he can sell. Me, as a digital artist, I don't have it, but it's an original creation, is mine, is my work, but I don't have this. So the first time that I heard about the NFTs, I thought, wow, really cool. At the same time, I hear a lot of hate about the NFTs. Some artists that made NFTs suffer a lot of online hate, and I'm start to dig a little bit about this. And as everything related with cryptocurrency and things like that, the things are a little bit shady, you know. Uh, you said, okay, I'm only doing an art piece and I'm selling that, but at the same time you have the argument that, yeah, but you need a lot of energy and it's bad for the environment to do this kind of stuff and all of that, etc. In this moment, at this moment, right now, I don't have a real opinion about this. I'm like in the middle. It's like seems cool, seems a little bit shady at the same time, and I'm not dig enough to have a strong opinion. But I can say it's probably that I will do some in the future if I found that it's not so problematic as I think right now that can be. So I don't know, but I can say yes, I will do it, but I can say no, I will don't do it. It's 50-50.
Interesting, yeah. And like it's a pretty interesting thing. And if you want, I can tell you some short information if you're interested right now.
Hmm.
We can talk about it a bit.
Yeah,
So here's the thing with NFTs, and for anyone who's listening as well and are wondering about it. In the shortest and basic most way possible, I could break this down is NFTs are the solution in the modern world that enables the fact that we can now sell original digital artwork.
yeah,
Because here's the thing, we already know how to sell original physical artwork, physical work.
exactly.
You can sell it,
Yeah,
simple. And there are ways, and here's the thing, that there are like professionals who can duplicate even the original physical ones, and there are professionals who can detect which are real or not, which one is the
yeah,
original.
exactly.
There are a lot of methods to see whether it's something original or not. Now we have entered the digital realm, and actually NFTs have been around since 2012, like in more simpler ways, but recently is with cyberpunk's I think, yes, cyberpunk, no, no, not cyberpunks, they have different names, cyber something similar.
Oh,
The
yeah.
In 2017 they got really popular, like these there are certain emotes, unique emotes, generated emotes that
Mhm.
everyone could buy. But then like in 2019, recently, like it's been getting a lot of news, and Beeple, for I mean, if you're an digital artist and living under a rock, you probably don't know the name Beeple, but if you don't know, just search
Mhm.
his name. He sold one of his artworks for $69 million.
Yeah,
And all power to him. And here's the thing, with NFTs, they are backed by the blockchain technology, but I don't want to get into so much terms, so I'm just going to break down everything as much as I can. Basically, blockchain, here's the thing, it makes it extremely viable and secure for to make singular unique tokens.
yeah,
All right, so which means they cannot be duplicated, they cannot be stolen, and and you can mint every token with the artwork file, all right?
Hmm.
And with that, when that happens, it means the artwork is unique and original. Now, no, 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 no. I know a lot of you will say, "Wait, Ramtin, how about what if someone takes a screenshot of it?" I'm gonna answer you right now. If you've ever seen a movie or a video of people in Louvre Museum in Paris with, the Mona Lisa is stored there, you see a lot of people having their phone out trying to take a picture. All right,
Hmm.
the people who take the picture don't actually own the Mona Lisa.
Yeah, exactly. You can have a replicate in your house, but you don't have the Mona Lisa.
It's
You don't own it.
not
Yeah.
even the replicate. We're talking about screenshots when it comes to digital work. For example, you take a picture of Mona Lisa, but you don't own the Mona Lisa.
Yeah.
That's different.
Yeah.
And here's the thing. For example, right now, actually a good example. I have like a artwork of someone I really like. One of the people in Casuals, actually, episode 20. I forgot the episode, but that's not the point. She was a guest on
Yeah.
this podcast as well, and I love one of her artworks that I put it on my phone. Does it mean that I own this artwork? No.
Yeah. No, exactly.
And here's the thing: when there's a lot of possibilities when you can make like a singular unique token. You can later, for example, every time someone uses that artwork anywhere, it will be recorded because it's directed to a token, and
Yeah.
when it comes to not just, for example, images and illustrations like videos, gifs, if they're used somewhere else, you can make incremental money, the owner of that,
Hmm.
you know like
Yeah. Yeah.
with Mona Lisa being in Louvre Museum, the museum is making a lot of money. You see where the idea is going?
Yeah. 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 Yeah, you can create uh like a singular item in a medium that seems impossible at the beginning
Mhm.
that you can do that. Yeah, as I said, for me it's really interesting. And the thing is that I hear a lot of things, a lot of bad things about that. I don't mean that I believe anything of that. Because right now we have a problem of communication,
Mhm.
of social communication, and it's all the time the same. uh, somewhere, somehow, a person do anything, and in other part of the planet another person feels offended about it, and you have a war in Twitter. you know uh, the thing that I said is, right now I don't have enough information. Thank you, and by the way, for help me with that. But I heard a lot of things like, oh, but it's really easy to, what's the term in English, to wash cash. It's correct to say that, like uh, make shady money operations with cryptocurrency and things like that. But with traditional arts, happens too. But I have a friend. I will not say his name or whatever, but I have a friend that lives very well doing paints for galleries, that offers his service to companies and rich people to hide money, in the art world. To I have this amount of money for a shade operation, and I bought like 3, 4, 5 paints, because it's easier to move $1 million in paints that in real money. Y- you understand me? I don't know if it's and this is mm, something that happens right now. So yeah, I can make an NFT, and a person use that for whatever. But it's not my problem. It's not the problem of the NFT itself. But as I said, at the same time, I don't have all the information. I'm now trying to do something more like, for example, I'm now trying to do prints of my work, because I never do prints and I never do this kind of stuff, and I'm now focused on that. But probably in the future, I try to make a couple of these things,
Hmm.
try it, and then make my own opinion
Hmm.
about, okay, I like it or I not or whatever. But as I don't do it, so I don't have an opinion about that. But thank you for the information because it really helps me
No
about it.
problem. And just one last thing I want to mention about the NFTs before we move on to the next part. Do you know Andrew Price, the Blender Guru YouTube channel?
Yeah, a little bit. I'm not a big fan, but I hear about that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's pretty awesome, and he made a video about NFTs, how explaining, like, trying to present in a logical sense to his audience that, yes, about like the whole taboo thing with NFTs and the environmental impact of it, and it got
Hmm.
so many dislikes without any
Yeah.
reason. People didn't even listen.
Yeah. There is a Russian concept artist,
I don't know.
Oleg Oleg. I don't remember the last name, but it's a really good one that makes a lot of concept art for a game the project is ill. It's the
Mm,
name of the project, and it's a Russian concept artist. It's a crazy dude that makes things really disturbing. He's really good, and he made a couple of NFTs. And as you said, all of his Twitter feed are people calling him things like crazy.
mm,
That you are a motherfucker, you are destroying the planet, and he's like, what are you talking about? I'm only making a draw. As everything, it's possible that 99% of the people that are talking about this doesn't know
mm,
almost anything about that. Uh, for me,
mm,
it's really strange because you have an informed opinion. You told me, uh, you bring me data,
mhm,
okay? But most part of the time, the people only bring me his own opinion, and it's like,
mm,
okay, but what is the foundation of your opinion? And it's like, no, 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 no. NFTs are really good. Well, okay, why? No,
mm.
because it's really good. Okay. The other person. NFTs are evil. Are the worst of this world. And I said, wow, okay, why? No, because they are evil. It's really bad for the environment. But why? Why are really bad for the environment? No, because they are. Okay. So I must believe you. What is So yeah, it's a complex theme. And most important, it's something new.
Yep.
And when something is new, uh, a lot of people, it's like they are scared, or they feel uncomfortable with something that they don't understand. Okay,
Mhm,
because I feel that, and this is something related with the artistic career, with um, with trying to have an artistic career. I think that you must to feel comfortable being uncomfortable.
mm,
uh, I had a lot of troubles drawing animals in the past.
mm,
For me, draw a horse was like a nightmare because they are really complex, really difficult, and things like that. But for me, it was not a problem because, in fact, getting better at drawing horses was fun. I like to suck doing something because it means that I can become better. And and if something is new, it's fun or it's interesting to try to understand it, to study it, and
mm,
all of this stuff. So uh, if you have a really, really, really close mind perspective, it's really difficult to become a good artist because it's all the time the same. This is new. I don't like it. This is all. I don't like it too. I only like my present. And it's like, mate, please, this is really boring. So, yeah.
All right, awesome. And actually, one of the things about NFTs that I mentioned about the environmental impact, like I can send you a data link after this podcast, but anyone can Google it. Like
Yeah.
it's not really a secret data or by
Yeah.
infographic, but like NFTs and Bitcoin all to not just NFTs, Bitcoin as well, and cryptocurrencies.
Hmm.
When it comes to like the global environmental impact that it has, detrimental impact that it has on the planet, it's like 0.2. Like
Yeah.
it's not even a 1%. Like 40, 50, 60% of the whole thing is with factory farming of animals. Like if you care about like environment so much, I don't know, stuff.
Yeah.
I don't know, go buy organic, or I don't know, go vegan. I don't know. Like there's a,
Yeah. It's really picky, and
yeah.
for me, it's something that comes from, as I said, from ignorance, because it's as you said, it's like, oh, it's really bad for the environment. I don't have the data, as I said. You said that it's like a point oh, and I believe you, but I will search this thing later. But the thing is, okay, but if we want to start a conversation about things that are dangerous for the environment, we have way too much things to talk before start to talk about the cryptocurrency or whatever. I have a conversation with a friend that he opposes the cryptocurrencies are NFTs for this kind of stuff, and I ask him, like, why is bad that I made an NFT, or me, or whatever, who wants it, but all of us, we have these kind of stuffs are really bad for the environment, and for the people in Africa hates this kind of stuff because half of Africa are colonized by United States to take all of the materials, the coltan, and all of this stuff. And it's like, wow, for me it's a little bit picky if you criticize something that it's not so impactful in your life, and you are like the biggest warrior defending this, but then all of the important stuff that that can change your lifestyle, you don't talk about it. It's as you said, if you are so concerned about the environment, why are you not vegan? Why are you not trying to found a political party that whatever make changes in the laws, or thing like that? But no, suddenly the problem is that an artist made an NFT. It's a little bit silly for me.
Yeah, exactly. And well, I mean, let's actually move on to a new question. I mean, I think we
Yeah.
talked
Okay.
about NFTs for a
Yeah.
while, and yeah, pretty controversial topic. Now,
Yeah.
have you ever used your dreams as inspirations for your works? And do you have any
Yeah.
particular dream you have in your mind right now that you could tell us about?
Yeah. I try to not use my dreams as an inspiration for my professional works, as works for companies or whatever. And the reason is because my dreams and my subconscious ideas are better than my pay grade. So I don't want to waste this kind of ideas in the project of other person. But I'm right now working in a project, in a big project, that it's, yeah, that born in my dreams. In fact, I wake up one day with a dream. I'm start r- recording everything, writing in a little notepad, and yeah, that becomes a recurrent dream, and evolves in my mind and in my subconscious, and everything. And yeah, I'm working in this project right now. So was a really interesting question. It's something that never was questioned to me, and yeah, I like it. it's interesting. Yeah, I I try to understand my subconscious as much as possible, because I'm so much creative and interesting and intelligent in the part that I that it's not exactly me, it's my subconscious, that I try all the time to see what it's there, what it's inside of me, because it's much interesting that what it's in the outside, you know. So yeah, yeah, I'm this is a story that I really like, that I really want to tell others, that I want to write it and draw it and illustrate it. And yeah, it was completely subconscious, at least the beginning of of this one. Yeah.
Yeah, it's actually pretty interesting, because like the format of the podcast is in a way that there's, of course, there's some unique questions I ask specific to the artist that is on the show, and there's
Yeah.
also some kind of boilerplate, like kind of template questions that I ask everyone. And
Yeah.
I actually added this dream question last episode, and I think it's a pretty interesting question to ask artists about dreams.
Yeah. Yeah. I think so. In fact, for example, the biggest project, one of the biggest project that I work for was the adaptation, the board game of Bloodborne, the video game of From Software. And Bloodborne and Dark Souls was like one of my biggest inspirations, and whatever, one of the artistic creations that I like the most. And the thing is that I think the reason is because they are uh, really dream related. The narrative is very foggy, you know. It's like, yeah, like a nightmare, like a dream, something like all mythologies that don't have so much sense, but at the same time are really attractive, and things like that. At the same time, I really like the Studio Ghibli movies. uh, I realize that all the things that I like are made by someone called Miyazaki, because you have Hidetaka from the Dark Souls and Hideo from Ghibli. But yeah, it's the same. Chihiro, Totoro, and all of the movies of Studio Ghibli are really dreamy, like something magical and things like that. And I found really interesting this kind of narrative, this kind of artistic expression, that it's like connected with an inside of your thoughts and your feelings, and trying to explain that in a material level, no. So yeah, it's really interesting. Yeah, I think that it's really important for us as an artist to have good dreams and connect with this subconscious part of us, of ourselves.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, personally, I derive a lot of inspirations from my dreams sometimes. I mean, mostly right now I'm
Mm.
having nightmares, so there's no much
Yeah.
illustrations. But yeah, dreams are really interesting. Especially I realize when sometimes, a lot of times, I don't sleep for 2 days. And like,
Oof.
yeah, I mean, that's pretty common for me.
Yeah.
And it's been going on for years. And like even recently, like 2 3 days ago, I couldn't sleep for 2 days, and I slept for like 14 16 hours. And when it usually those type of stuff happens, I have like the most vivid, imaginative, like long,
Yeah.
detail oriented dreams. Sometimes they're nightmares, sometimes they're not. They're just normal dreams, but they're so like, it's like your brain has like extremely advanced graphic card. It's weird.
Yeah, and it's really interesting when you wake up thinking, what the fuck just happens, or more interesting, why I'm dreaming with that. Something that was some really interesting for me is when I dream with people that I actually know in real life, but they are not exactly uh, in the same way that I dream with them. It's like this is other person in my dream have other face or whatever, but subconsciously I know that it's whatever, this person, this ex-girlfriend, this friend that I don't talk with him since a lot of times, or my best friend that I talk with him last night, whatever. But a lot of times I thought, why I'm dreaming this, why I have this crazy history in my head, in my subconscious with this person right now. And it's something that makes you feel special when someone tells you that dreamed with you. Hey, I dreamed with you last night, and you feel like something special. And right now, I don't feel that it's so special. Sometimes feels really random, like okay, was me or, but other times, yeah, was really special. I have really special dreams, and sometimes I have really crazy dreams. So I think that are really interesting, but I definitely doesn't try to understand it totally because it's like no, I don't know. I feel that it's like discover the magic trick. So it's better to appreciate it, to see it a lot, but not trying to dig so much that you found the trick. I don't know.
Yeah, it totally makes sense. And who are your favorite artists and designers that have inspired you the most?
Phew. Well, as I said, both Miyazaki's, Hidetaka from Software and Hideo from Studio Ghibli was really, really inspiring for me. Um, Kentaro Miura from the author of Berserk are really, 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 really inspiring for me. Mike Mignola, the creator of Hellboy, it's one of my favorites too. In fact, my biggest inspirations are not people of my field. So I have a lot of concept artists that I like. I like a lot the work of Jason Chan or Karkopinski or whatever. But my biggest inspirations was always people from other fields, from music, from movies, from comic, video games, because I really like to see other people doing incredible stuff from another perspective, you know? Because when I see the Jason Chan work, for example, for League of Legends, it's amazing, but all the things that he do, I understand it. I understand everything that he does. I don't say that I'm at his technical level, but most part of the time is like, okay, I understand this process, this kind of work. But when I hear a really cool song, or when I see a really cool movie or whatever, it's more mystical for me because I don't understand everything that are happening there. So helps me to find more ways to express myself. So it's really difficult give you a top 3 or top 5 of people that I really like because I like a lot Velázquez or Rembrandt as classical painters. I love Friedrich or Rembrandt or whatever. Toulouse-Lautrec was one of my Toulouse-Lautrec and Muja was two of my biggest inspirations, but my style don't have anything related with them. If you see my work and you see the work of Toulouse-Lautrec, you will say your inspiration. You are not close or similar. But was an inspiration for me because his process, his life, the way that he achieved the things that he want to bring to the paper was interesting for me and helps me to develop my skills. So sometimes I feel that when the people see a reference, try to copy the style of the reference, and for me, when you draw something and when you paint something, you are codifying an idea in your style or in your way to express yourself. So it's better to not try copying the code of other person, but it's interesting trying to understand his process or the way that he found his own code, because this kind of stuff can help you a lot to found your own style or whatever. So yeah, I have a lot of I take a lot of inspiration from music, for example, and for me helps me a lot. For example, with this project that I dream, uh, I'm right now working in the project, doing the hard part that it's working. you know, um, I'm writing a lot, studying all of the writing, all of the script and whatever. And for me, was an immense help. A record from Kendrick Lamar, that it's an American rapper. It's a record that it's To Pimp a Butterfly. It's a rap. It's a rap album, and it's amazing. All the work that it's put in this album was really inspiring for me, and helps me a lot to put an structure to my own thoughts and my own ideas. So it's like I don't take any idea of Kendrick. He talks about the American society and living in the hood and things like that. So mine is a fantasy history. So there is no ideas of Kendrick in my own creation, but some parts of his mindset is in my creation. So I prefer to talk inspiration in this kind of level that directly from people of my own field.
Yeah, I totally understand what you mean by that. And what is the main subject of your artworks and what made them interesting to you? And by artworks, I mean, of course, the things, the projects you do for yourself, not the ones you're commissioned.
Yeah, as I do all the time, basically fantasy epic stuff, because it's or fantasy or sci-fi, uh, cyberpunk stuff all the time. Uh, but at the same time, I found boring to draw reality all the time. I like I like to express. I want to express personal thoughts using a low key fantasy setting to do it. So right now, the thing that I am doing is a fantasy history, uh, dark fantasy, really, really a little bit depressing, a little bit dark. Okay, but it's my way to talk about um, problems in our society, about the corruption of power and money and some problems that for me are in this world right now, that I me you suffer every day. So that's that's the reason, because I found so interesting your dream question, because I I want to express these kind of thoughts as a dream. It's fantasy, it's foggy, but at the end of the day are your own thoughts, no? So yeah, I'm trying to express personal thoughts and social problems that I think that as an artist I want to express, but using a soft fantasy setting that helps uh, to digest this a little bit and make this a little bit less pretentious, because I'm not so sure that my own opinion deserves to be heard. So at least I will try to bring you cool designs, cool draws, so you can have something to appreciate or enjoy.
All right. What technologies and softwares do you mostly use for your works?
Photoshop. I have a good PC, a really good PC. I try to buy a new one like every 3 or 4 years, and then I use right now an Intuos Pro. I I used in the past a really good Cintiq, but my Cintiq died and it's really expensive. So I'm trying to avoid a new one, at least at the moment, because I feel that right now my skills are good enough to use whatever. I can bring the same quality using an Intuos or a Cintiq. The Cintiq is only a personal preference, but I don't have it one right now. And Photoshop, and I don't use anything. And in Photoshop, I don't use any fancy thing because my background, as I said earlier, is more a classical approach. I'm start drawing in paper. I'm learned colors, painting canvas with oils. So my way to work in Photoshop is I'm open one layer for one element and I'm doing everything there. I don't use um, special layers or things like that, or effects or filters or whatever. So I'm use it in a very rudimentary way, as a canvas, but with Control C, so it's easier. But yeah, I only use Photoshop and an Intuos, and that's all.
And any advice and tips for a good portfolio and resume for artists?
Yeah, try to understand. Uh, First off, if you are trying to make a portfolio for um, to achieve a job, try to understand where are you applying. So if you want to try it in Games Workshop because you really like Warhammer 40k and you want to do something for this company, the portfolio that you need to have it's different if you want to work, for example, for League of Legends. And you can set it's epic fantasy, really big armors, or uh, even even closer, Warhammer and Warcraft. Two fantasy settings, two big companies with orcs and humans and things like that. But the style of Games Workshop is really grim, really dark, really the strokes of the brushes are really violent sometimes because they want this kind of rough style. And World of Warcraft are all of the time really saturated palettes of colors, all really rendered and things like that. So it's important to understand why are you doing your portfolio. It's a general portfolio. Okay, if it's a general portfolio and it's your attestation, upload whatever you want. But if you are trying to do a portfolio because you want to be hired in some place, understand the place, study the the aesthetic style of the place or the project that you want to achieve, and try to be precise and not overdo all the time the things. A portfolio with 100 images is boring, even if they are even if Sparth brings a 100 images portfolio, Sparth will not be hired, and it's one of the best environment artists of the world. But if your work is good enough with 5 to 15 images, it's enough. You don't need to show 10,000 images or whatever, because the people that will hire you have skills enough and his eye trained to detect if you are the proper person. So if you have a small portfolio, it's easier to remember than a really big one. If I only bring you 5 to 10 really good images, it's easier to you to remember one of them that if I overwhelm you with a lot of work. And for me, uh, I always found when I see portfolios of students or people that applying in a job that I'm the artistic director, for me all the time that I see a really big portfolio, a really inflated one, I feel that this person is a little bit what's the name, when you don't have confidence enough, you know, that you are underconfident, you don't have enough confidence in your own work, so you need to mask all of your errors with a lot of stuff. So yeah, these two things: try to understand why are you doing your portfolio, why are you doing robots or warriors or kittens, whatever. Why I'm making this? Is because this company likes this kind of stuff. And then try to be try to push quality over quantity all the time. And if you doesn't feel ready, don't worry. Still training, still practicing, and building your skills to reach a point that with 5 to 10 images you feel confidence enough to show your work.
Yeah, I mean that was pretty overall the anything anyone needs to take
Yeah.
into consideration when it comes to their portfolios. And what are you working on right now that you can tell us about? What kind of project is it?
Yeah, I'm working in several projects right now. I'm working with Asmodee, that it's a really big board game and RPG company. I think that it's the biggest in Europe, but I'm not sure. And I'm working in a couple of RPGs that I have really big confidential agreement, but they are a couple RPGs, and working with the people of Capital 7, that are the people that makes the official Warhammer 40k RPG. And then I have a lot of small clients that I really like to work with from the collectibles and miniature world, that are really cool projects. They are small, but at the same time, my life is better working for this kind of people. But yeah, for the big industry, I'm working with these two companies that are really big companies of board games and RPGs. And then, as I said, I'm doing. I spend a lot of time right now trying to do my own stuff, because I want to publish this artistic book, because it's a collection of images and little histories for the next year or so. Yeah.
Awesome. Speaking of RPGs, you said you were working on some of them, which you, of course, you said you can't mention. Have you heard about the League of Legends? Like, I mean, Riot's upcoming MMORPG project?
Yeah, I heard. For me, the most interesting one is not the MMO; it's the action RPG that they are doing.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I meant.
The Diablo like one, you know. And yeah, for me, from as this is an artistic podcast, for everyone that are listening that doesn't know this, I really recommend everyone. to go to sixmorevodka.com. That it's the the web of Six More Vodka Studio. That it's the studio of Marko Darjevic. That it's an amazing concept artist, and his team is it's nuts. It's absurd. They are the people that made all the illustration for the card game of League of Legends,
Rune,
Legends of
Rune Terror.
Runeterra.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you have in his web all of the work that they made for the project, and it's amazing, completely amazing. The quality of the illustration is, for me, they raise the bar of the industry with this project. So yeah, I play League of Legends in the past. I
Mhm.
don't do it right now because it's a drug much worse than caffeine or cocaine or whatever. It's like, wow, the toxicity in my life are really low since I don't play League of Legends. But they interest me a lot as a creative company, because it's interesting the things that they are doing. I feel like right now Riot Games, it's like Blizzard in the past.
Mhm.
Blizzard right now it's like garbage because
Yeah.
Activision and Bobby Kotick and all of this stuff. But right now I feel like Riot Games is start to positioning himself as the new old Blizzard, the Blizzard that made Diablo, that made the StarCraft, that made the first Warcraft. I feel that they are trying to do something similar, and I want them to succeed because I want this kind of companies in our industry too.
Honestly, all their products are just great. I mean,
Mm.
yeah, sure. I mean, a lot of their games are not the most original gameplay ideas, but the thing is, they improved it. Like, they improved an invention, like it's something, and that's
Yeah,
important. Like, all their products are great. I love them, and I mean, yes, same as you. I don't play League of Legends anymore. I started it like
yeah.
this past summer. I used to be a Dota guy. I played Dota for 4,000 hours, but then left it for League. Um, I'm just gonna be honest. Both, objectively speaking, both aren't bad game, but
Yeah,
just, you go play chess. You don't go towards.
I said play Warhammer. Warhammer is
Yeah,
really
or
cool, really fun. You can spend a lot of time in an artistic part of the hobby, that it's painting all the miniatures and building your guys and things like that. And you can build healthy relationships with the people because you have your opponent in front of you, so you must be polite and being a decent human being, because League of Legends is absurd. um, I will make you this question: what's your role in League of Legends?
oh,
I was top laner.
I mean, I'm glad you asked because I was gonna ask you the same thing. My main
Yeah,
my main three heroes that I could really claim that I'm extremely good at. Um, Top lane is two heroes, Nasus and Timo, and the bot lane is, oh, you hate me. I know. I saw the expression.
no, 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 no. It's the both things, because I'm not. I was a Diamond Nasus.
Oh,
I was a one trick pony Nasus. I play a little bit with other things like Set, Cleth, and things
yeah,
like that. But I was a one trick
same.
Nasus. But I hate Timo so much. I hate so much the Timo. As you can see, only talk about League of Legends is toxic, because I was feeling a really good energy between you and me, but right now I know that you are a Timo player, and I don't like you so much right now.
I mean, understandable. I
No,
get
just
that.
kidding.
I understand that.
Yeah,
Weirdly enough, like one of the bad things about like League of Legends is that like because here's the thing, I played both Dota and League of Legends for a long time, so I can objectively speak on my side, so I know, like, in terms of MOBAs, that one of the biggest problems with League of Legends is balancing top lane, and
yeah,
ranged top laners are just broken.
yeah,
This is, like, for
yeah,
example, sorry to interrupt, but like, for example, in Dota it's different. Like, we have off lane and safe lane, and here's the thing: in League you have two tanky people in the same lane.
yeah,
But know that you have a your tank goes in front of the support and the ADC of the enemy, and it's reversed. It's
yeah,
the same. and that's how it actually should be. But I mean, all right, it's fine. Like tank versus tank seems fine, but it's so unbalanced. For example, a vein top in front of you. If you're Nasus, you're done.
Yeah, but for example, I climbed to diamond
Mm-hmm.
because I was really hard stuck in low platinum,
Mm-hmm.
like high gold, low platinum, for 3 seasons. Okay, because I only want to play with Nasus because it's the thing that I
Yeah.
like. I like to creep for
Stacks.
45 minutes and then win the and then win the match. And every time that I found a queen, Bane top lane, Timo, all of this range bullshit, the game is over for me.
Yep.
And then I'm start to study the game to think about what can I do to solve this problem.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm start to make something that it's bullshit with Nasus, but it's perfect.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know the real state of the game right now because I don't play it
Mm-hmm.
like 1.5 years ago. But the last season that I played, I reached diamond doing next thing. I took the mastery of Scorched Earth.
Mm-hmm.
That is that when I take you make
Yeah.
a little bit of additional magic damage. Mana flow band.
Magic.
I'm start Yeah, I'm start with a Doran ring
Mm-hmm.
and I max the E of Nasus,
Mm-hmm.
the
Yeah, I
tal.
saw it actually.
So
Yeah.
yeah, so I become a caster.
Mm-hmm.
I will creep all the time. I will do the same, but my first 10 minutes of match, I'm a mage.
Mm-hmm.
What is the problem for Queen, Timo, or these range characters? You are really squishy.
Mm-hmm.
So I throw you my E. I destroy like a quarter of your health only with one skill because you are not prepared to deal with this kind of damage. And when I made this 2 or 3 times, and by the way, the range of the skill it's like this, it's
Yeah.
half of the lane. So you can dodge the first tick of damage that is the big one.
Mm-hmm.
So the thing is, I can claim with my off tank character doing mage stuff.
Mm-hmm.
The game is broken. Uh, the, uh, for me, it's not good that I must to play as a mage for win as a tank. A
Yeah.
melee tank, was strange. But yeah, I found really easy to do that because
Yep.
the the high diamond queens, for example, are much harder to deal with.
Yep.
But the average platinum player that picks that takes the OP pick and that's it. What's really easy to deal with my magic
Mm.
Nasus.
And actually, like two things about Nasus I used to always do. Like one of the most broken things just best things about League of Legends is this. What I'm gonna tell you: critical assassin Nasus build. Oh my god, I just love that.
Yeah,
And
was really fun.
yeah, oh my god, it's
Yeah,
just I don't want to think about it.
yeah.
And another
Yeah.
strategy, I don't know if you know this, like as an Nasus man. After this, we're gonna move on to the next question. But the thing
Yeah.
is, but the thing is that with Nasus, there's a strategy I knew that no one else did or does in League of Legends, but I know it's from Dota because that's what I used to do in Dota. And
Mhm.
here's the thing. When like the one of the lanes are pushed enough that you can go for the towers near the nexus,
Yeah.
I just rush in and put a ward and just basically dive suicide dive. I die in the end. I
Mhm.
rush, I put a ward, and that's it. And when I get back, I get this elixir potion of like damage. And when
Mhm.
all the enemy team is pushing, I just teleport and just end the game with. And of course,
Ah, yeah.
just end.
Yeah. I win a lot of matches
Hmm.
only because I have enough damage to
Yeah.
destroy a tower with 2 or 3 Qs
Hmm.
and doing something like that, like a crazy teleport.
Hmm.
And it's like, okay, I will bet, I will bet that I can destroy your Nexus before you complete your back, you know. So let's try it. And most part of the time, if you are enough farmed, you can do it. So yeah, I love the dog. I really love it.
Yeah.
So,
And all right, next question. What area beside the area you're working on right now would you be interested to explore and learn in the future? Imagine if you had, what I mean by that, imagine if you had a lot of extra free time and like resources which you can, go do
well,
something else.
I'm doing it. I'm doing that. I'm forcing myself to take a lot of time of my day to train, because I found that we the artists have a really bad relation with our bodies, and as we said, we drink a lot of caffeine, we we are sitting all day and things like that. So like 5 6 years ago, I'm start to training only for health purposes, but then I found that sport the sport as an ethereal concept was not enough for me. I don't enjoy training like running or lifting weights or whatever. So I'm trying to find sport that I enjoy. And I try a lot of things, CrossFit and things like that. But then I found kickboxing, Muay Thai, or boxing. But my my favorite was Muay Thai, and I really enjoyed. I found a lot of good knowledge about myself in this discipline, and it's really 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 fun to fight with someone that wants to fight you too, but without bad intentions, only for the sports. So I really like it, and I'm really trying to improve in this area a lot. Right now, I can't train it properly because all of the restrictions and the close combat sports are not allowed. But I take all days a couple hours to go running to improve my cardio, to make my push-ups, my squats, all of the things to make me stronger and better in the sport. And I was building a little gym in my home with a heavy bag, an area to make shadow boxing to try to improve. So yeah, I found that the martial arts with real application, combat sports better than martial arts. Combat sports are something that I never thought about it, but I really enjoy it, and yeah, I'm trying to become better in that.
Yeah, awesome. And well, with everything that's been said and done in this episode, to conclude our discussed, give us a roadmap for someone who is zero in visual arts and wants to get to the place you are in terms of skill sets, like best courses, books, anything that could come to your mind. Basically, give us a step-by-step roadmap for someone who is zero and wants to get to the place.
Uh, I think that, well, it's for me it's a little bit difficult to answer this because I want to be an artist since I have since since I was a kid. I always have the vision to be an artist. So I understand that was easier for me, because I have this kind of motivation. But basically, I thought that the the first step is: are you enjoying this as a hobby or as a profession? Because it's not the same. For example, as I said, I love Muay Thai. I train my Muay Thai 4 days a week, and I train every day, side training, to become better. But I don't want to go in a professional ring because I don't have passion enough for Muay Thai uh, to have stitches all of my face and to have a real fight, you know. But I have friends, a couple of friends that are professional fighters because because they love Muay Thai not as a hobby, if not as a profession. So this is the same. First off, try to talk about yourself, with yourself, sorry, about your goals. You want to be an artist or you want to do artistic things? Because maybe, just maybe, you will be happier with another kind of work and drawing and painting in your spare time. Because when you are a professional artist, a lot of time you will do things that are not your preferred things. I need to do. I don't enjoy to do my 3,000 orc, every time that I need to do one. But the thing is, for me, draw anything. It's better to do whatever, anything, any other work in the world. I prefer to draw a dog shit that whatever. So I really like this job because the activity itself of paint and draw and design, it's something that I really like, that I really enjoy, that are part of myself. So this is the first step. You enjoy this, or this is part of yourself. And if it's something that you want really to pursue and you really want to be better and trying to make a living about with the art, uh, every book, every movie, every conversation, every life experience that makes you richer as a person will be positive for you. Because try. I think that the best thing that I can say is try to learn about everything that you live. Uh, if your girlfriend or your boyfriend cheats on you and destroy your heart, at least you have an experience to express in the future when you are healed. Or you can try to heal, um, tell expressing yourself with the art about this thing. So yeah, the path is the same path for everything. Study a lot, training a lot, found good courses, found good tutorials. You have right now in internet, in Gumroad, you have every tutorial possible of the best of the industry, really affordable. You have a lot of books, you have a lot of whatever. But then you, as a person, try to improve all the time. um Enjoy the process of improve yourself, enjoying, as I said earlier, enjoying being bad at something, because that means that you can develop new skills and learn something new. And and yeah, try to have the final goal clear in your mind, like, I want to be a really good artist. But try to achieve little milestones at once. Like, okay, I want to be the best concept artist in the world, but don't think about Riot Games in your first year of training, because it's probably that you never reach that point, because you need lucky, you need a lot of things. So if you have this vision in your mind that I want to be a really big artist, or something like that, it's really good if this is something that you really want. But then trying to improve little by little, but trying to improve every day a little bit. Every day a little bit is much, 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 much better than trying to do something really big in 1 year or something like that. Like, I will study a lot, I will work all days, I will make all of the sacrifice in the world. No, be humble, be disciplined, and work every day in your craft. Build a little bit your skills, build a little bit your confidence, your knowledge, and every day try to improve a little bit. Draw better than the last time, but just a little bit. Push yourself, but push yourself enough to never burn out or feel that you don't have energy. I think that this is the best thing that I can say.
Awesome. And well, we've reached the end of the episode. Thanks so much for coming by the way. Where can people
Thank
contact
you
you
for
if
having me.
they had a question?
Sorry?
Where can people contact you if they had a question? Is your Instagram?
Oh, yeah, 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 of course, of course. In my Instagram, whatever that wants to contact me, my Instagram, I have my DMs open. The only thing is that in the past, like 1 year or so, as before that, after doing the Bloodborne project, my Instagram explodes, and sometimes I have like a lot of DMs, and sometimes I lose record
Yeah.
of my DMs. But especially if you are an upcoming artist, I always try to help people,
Yeah.
and I have no problem at all to see a portfolio or whatever, or recommend you anything. So yeah, try to in my Instagram, because I always try to read all the comments and all of the DMs.
Awesome. Well, we've reached the end of this episode. Thanks for everyone who's tuned in and listened or watched on YouTube. And well, that's it. Take care, everyone. Have a good day. Bye.
Bye.